Europa Universalis has a deluxe edition with amazing components, and we're going to show you today how to rebox it on Legendary Tactics. Now this video is going to be a little bit longer compared to a lot of the reboxings we do. There's just so much great stuff in the way of components here. I'm just going to let the camera kind of give you an idea. This is what everything looks like when it's all been taken out of the box, just to give you a very big picture view here. There's a lot of stuff here and a lot of cool pieces and wooden bits and so forth. If you love that kind of luxury feel, the deluxe edition is definitely going to satisfy that for you. So we're going to zoom back a bit and take a look at some of the booklets here. These are for bots, so you can play a solo game. We have the scenarios with everything written out, see it in great detail. That's one thing this game has, is great detail. There's another scenario book there for you as well, just in case you get bored of the other one. And we've got some player aids here. Now these are going to be very important to playing the game. You're going to refer to these a lot, and they provide one per player. And the deluxe edition, you can play up to 6 players with the expanded map, so it's pretty sweet. So this again are the player aids here, just to get a quick glance. We have another bot flowchart there, and the rule book. The rules, there are 48 pages of rules. Surprisingly intuitive, though. It's not heavy in the sense of, there are a lot of rules, but a lot of them do make sense. And then there's lots of these wooden bits and dice and so forth. So just I find if you've left a mess, just hold the tray a little bit above them, and they will be like a vacuum or a magnet. They're going to get sucked right into their proper spots. And it's actually quite satisfying to watch. So we just got one color left here, the blues, and we'll scoop that. And again, I always like to store the counters back in their counter, I don't know what to call it, like the not a tray exactly, but in the spots in the punched cardboard frames here. And this is just a glimpse at all the different counters for alliances and royal marriages and illness and religions, and it is such an epic game. So we're gonna want to make sure that we preserve these counters and make sure that they are going to be kept safe and undamaged for future play. So just going to put the shrink wrap back onto them. And just so you get a good glimpse of it here. The scope of this game is, as you can see, it's Europe. There's different time periods you can play. One of them is, I believe, 1444, and one of them is about 100 years later, but I forget the exact year. So it's a double-sided map board to reflect that. And there's lots of counters because it's a really epic scope, if you haven't got that sense already. We've got lots of card decks. We have decks that are for events. We have decks that are for ideas. We have decks that are for all sorts of things. And in the deluxe edition, you get this nice tray that where you can store all those decks. Just hold out your hand and use the force, grab them and put them in. They've got different decks for different ages as well. So this tray is really handy for storage purposes. It's a really great setup for making sure that you've got everything in its right place. This is the additional board, the bonus board, and again you can see double-sided, and that's to allow 6 players to play. Aesthetically as well, I think it looks much better than the basic game board, which appears to be cut off on the right side, and it sort of is missing something. There's some more card decks there. You can see bureaucracy. That sounds exciting. What else? And Deus Volt. And yeah, so just the flavor that comes through in this game is really great. There's just so many different directions this game can go, so many stories that it can tell. and really put you back in that time period. And once again, we'll take a look at the map. The map is gorgeous, very nice colors. It's a bit busy, but it does make sense once you kind of have played it a little bit. The overall look of it will make sense. It's very functional as well. Now, I really like these. These are the player boards, and they've got little indentations that allow the pieces to sit really nicely in the in the spot. There's a couple boards that don't have this. They're just normal laminated cardboard, which is fine. But I think it's a really, really great addition. You can see the pieces there inside their storage boxes there. You have Europa Universalis stamped right on top of them. Yeah, I think they're really great. My daughter's helping me out with this reboxing today, in case you're wondering. And those boxes, those slide all over the place. So you got to just make sure you got a hand ready to catch them. But you can see the towns. They have little figurines for the armies and fleets. Yeah, everything is just really, really well done, really well organized. And here's a glimpse at all those wooden bits and some plastic bits. You've got your soldiers there and your ships. You've got these cards here to track your fleets and your armies so that you can track their strength and to keep your board relatively uncluttered, which I think is very handy. They have one for each, well, two for each color actually. So it's kind of again, this game will have a very big footprint, no question. So you're gonna want to make sure you have an especially nice and big game table for this. I like to I find it's good to seal up the paper on these things. Just make sure it's nice and tight and organized. Just press it together and it'll be back together. And you can see there's my daughter wanted to show the green pieces and just kind of rearranging them for you. And I apologize, there's some weird thing that happened with my camera, so I don't know why it did that, but anyway, it's just distorted for a few seconds here. So yeah, just another glimpse of the pieces. You have the fleet counter, the nice plastic counter there. You've got I can't remember what that figurine is. I'm still learning the game, to be honest. I know one of them, I believe this one is for the army piece as well. So, you've got another army piece there. So anyway, forgive me if I haven't fully learned this game yet. There is a lot to learn. I'm working my way through it and trying to convince the guys to give this a go. It's a little bit bigger game than they're used to playing. So, but again, lots of different counters to show unrest and alliances and different board game states. Really nice to have the nice wooden pieces. They go right up into the bag. Just if you hover the bag over top of them, they suck right in. They have mercenaries. They have rebels. You're going to need to manage unrest in your realm and try to make sure that you're keeping the rebellions under control. They got a first player counter. Those are some of the rebel pieces and the mercenaries there, the soldiers there, which again, just it all adds this to this incredible narrative that this game can play. It is a long game. It is not a quick and easy one. And to be honest, I don't know if you would want it to be shorter. I think that part of the charm of this game is to actually have it in a situation where it's actually supposed to play out over a number of hours, and you're supposed to savor the story there. We're just going to put the styrofoam right in the middle there, make sure it's all secure. Just another quick look at the die, they've got some for the army, some for the navy, and just general use as well. Just a quick glance at all these dice here, and just putting them right back into the plastic where they came. We'll just seal that right up for you. And yeah, so I hope this is really giving you a good sense of the scope of the game, and just the quality of the components. This is a very necessary list of realms and so forth, so you know who's who. And as I said, we're just going to take another glimpse at the player aids. As I said earlier, the player aids are really great. They seem like they're complicated, but once you are in the flow of the game, they're just going to be a nice reference. And I found that they've been nice. There's a nice summary of the rules there. We'll take another quick glance at the scenarios, just because my daughter loves flipping through these books backwards. And the rule set again. The rules there's a lot of icons, but everything is very easy to find. I've been very pleased with the rules, actually, because this was definitely one where the risk was that you could be lost. And I think the designers knew that, and they definitely put some effort into making sure everything was really well organized. It still takes some time, but I think ultimately it'll be worth the investment. And again, just the bot actions again, just another quick look there. We're going to put everything back in the box, and we're going to put the cover back on. It kind of it reminds me of Descartes or someone like that on the cover. I don't know why, but anyway, that gentleman's sitting near the globe. So anyway, this is Europa Universalis, The Price of Power. And thank you so much for watching our reboxing. This is Legendary Tactics.